Today, we will immerse ourselves in the wisdom of the ancient Greek Stoics and talk about the desire for development. The feeling of stagnant life often causes discontent. The Stoics argued that true happiness lies in constant growth and the search for new opportunities. We will discuss how giving up the familiar and comfortable leads to personal growth. On the way to self-esteem, it is important to be able to recognize your efforts, as well as get rid of situations that do not bring joy. We will touch upon the issues of freedom, authenticity, and the importance of mutual respect in relationships. These are steps towards a happier and more satisfied life. Let us explore these ideas together and discover new horizons. Don't forget to write a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Further, if you stop developing, it can cause feelings of dissatisfaction and stagnation. Every day begins to seem like a monotonous repetition of the previous one. Whether it's work, personal life, or hobbies, the lack of progress robs us of energy and interest in life. The Stoics believed that the pursuit of wisdom and self-development should be a continuous process where life is perceived as a path of constant growth. If you feel that you are no longer moving forward, this is a sign that something needs to change. Think about your career. Perhaps your work used to bring you challenges, fascinate you, and provide opportunities for growth. But now everything has come down to routine. There are no new tasks, no prospects for development or advancement, and inspiration has disappeared. This condition can cause deep feelings of dissatisfaction and boredom. The Stoics teach us to strive for excellence in every area of life and to find ways to develop. If your current job no longer provides you with these opportunities, it may be time to explore new ways that will arouse your enthusiasm and curiosity. The same applies to personal life. A relationship, for example, should be dynamic and evolving in order to promote the growth of both sides. When personal connections or hobbies no longer inspire or stimulate, it is worth reviewing your priorities to regain a sense of moving forward. If you notice that your relationship has become routine, and interactions have lost their vividness and inspiration, this may be a signal to think about changes. The same applies to your hobbies. If a hobby that used to bring joy and energy now seems boring and monotonous, it is time to look for new opportunities for development. The Stoics highly valued the pursuit of knowledge and self-improvement, encouraging us to find experiences that arouse interest and stimulate growth. Leaving a situation where there is no room for learning and progress is a manifestation of caring for yourself and your life. This is a step towards recognizing your potential and striving to realize it. The Stoics reminded us that our time on earth is limited, and it must be used wisely, continuously improving ourselves and expanding our understanding of the world around us. The search for new challenges and opportunities respects this principle, helping us to live our lives as richly as possible. Imagine how your condition changes when you are constantly learning and growing. By breaking through the usual boundaries and stepping out of your comfort zone, you develop new skills, get a fresh perspective on things, and become stronger and more flexible. The constant pursuit of development improves not only your professional and personal life, but also contributes to your overall well-being and happiness. For the Stoics, true satisfaction lay in living a life that fits our nature, and that includes continuous learning and growth. At the same time, it is important to understand that development often requires abandoning the familiar and comfortable. This process can be intimidating, but it is necessary in order to unlock your potential. The Stoics taught that discomfort and trials are an integral part of personal growth. By accepting change and opening up to new experiences, you strengthen your resilience and strength. The desire to learn and develop is a sign of striving for a full and meaningful life. Finally, if your efforts go unnoticed, this is also an important signal. Many of us have come across a situation where everything we put into work, friendship, or family relationships is undervalued. Whether it's hours of hard work, helping a friend, or supporting loved ones, Sometimes we find that our efforts are taken for granted rather than appreciated. It is exhausting and can leave you completely devastated when your efforts and dedication are ignored. If your hard work remains unrecognized, it is a clear signal that it is time to think about changes. At work, this can manifest itself in the form of constantly completing additional tasks without a single word of gratitude or recognition from superiors. Your efforts start to be taken for granted rather than truly appreciated, which eventually leads to burnout. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on our own actions and virtues, rather than depending on recognition from others. But it is important to be aware when the environment systematically underestimates you, as this can undermine your sense of self-worth and cause long-term dissatisfaction. In a personal relationship, such disregard can be even more painful. Imagine that you are always planning meetings, providing support, or donating your time, but your efforts go unnoticed. Over time, this imbalance causes resentment and a sense of emptiness. You start to wonder, why keep trying if your actions aren't reciprocated and appreciated? It is not about seeking constant praise, but about having mutual respect and recognition. Leaving a situation where you are taken for granted is a strong expression of self-respect. This is not selfishness, but an awareness of your own worth and a refusal to accept that you deserve more. The Stoics remind us that our self-esteem should not depend on someone else's approval. Leaving such circumstances paves the way for new opportunities and relationships in which your efforts will be truly noticed and appreciated. It can be difficult to make this decision. We are often afraid of the unknown. What if the new job turns out to be worse, or you lose a friend? But staying in a situation where you are not appreciated can be much more destructive in the long run. It slowly but surely undermines your self-esteem and inner happiness. Stoics teach us to live according to our principles and values, even if it requires difficult decisions. Put your well-being and personal growth above your usual comfort, because this is the only way to build a life filled with respect, harmony, and meaning. Imagine that you are changing the direction of your life. This step will not only raise your emotional mood, but also bring your environment into harmony with the principles of mutual respect and recognition. You will find yourself in a situation where your efforts are appreciated and rewarded, and this balance is vital for healthy relationships and a positive self-image. As the Stoics taught, your dignity is an integral part of your nature and should not depend on the recognition of others. Stay true to this belief and don't be afraid to walk away from those who don't appreciate your contribution. Being in a situation solely out of guilt or duty can be extremely exhausting. This is a fairly common situation. We often continue to stay at work or in a relationship, feeling guilty for possibly leaving or considering it our duty to stay. But if your main reason for staying is the fear of being judged by others, this is a signal to reflect. Maybe your job doesn't bring you joy anymore or doesn't meet your career goals, but the thought of quitting makes you feel guilty. Are you worried about the burden that will fall on your team? Or are you afraid of disappointing your boss? However, being in a role that no longer brings satisfaction, just because of a sense of duty, can lead to emotional burnout. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of aligning your actions with your inner values and realizing that you are solely responsible for your decisions, not for other people's expectations. In personal relationships, feelings of guilt and commitment can be even stronger. You can stay in a friendship or romantic relationship, feeling responsible for the other person's happiness or based on the fact that you have been together for a long time. You worry that leaving will hurt the other person or that you are obligated to continue the relationship. But if such a relationship has become unhealthy or does not bring you joy, staying only out of a sense of duty is unfair neither for you nor for the other party. Stoics remind us that genuine relationships are built on mutual respect and voluntary commitment, not guilt. Acting honestly and with respect for yourself and others means choosing your well-being. Leaving a situation where you stayed only out of guilt or duty is a show of self-respect and authenticity. Recognize that your time and energy are valuable, and you deserve to devote them to things that truly bring joy and satisfaction. Imagine the freedom and inner strength that comes when your decisions align with your true self. By freeing yourself from guilt and unnecessary obligations, you create space for new opportunities and relationships that truly align with your values. This step will lead you to greater happiness, inner satisfaction, and personal growth. The Stoics believed that living according to virtue means making decisions that reflect your inner values and help you strive for what is truly important to you, rather than submitting to outside pressure. Getting out of a situation based on guilt or commitment can be a difficult step. Yes, it often involves initial discomfort and difficult conversations, but it eventually leads to a more authentic and fulfilling life. This choice helps to strengthen your inner peace and sense of integrity. So, dear friends, striving for development is a path that requires courage and abandonment of the familiar. Accepting change and acknowledging one's efforts leads to authentic happiness and inner satisfaction. If you like this video, please like it, write Stoic in the comments, and subscribe to our channel to continue looking for wisdom and inspiration together.